Hi everybody. I'm going to now show a few different versions of scrolls. And scrolls are something I use a ton of in my quillings. I use a lot of different shape scrolls, and some of them I didn't even know were real things until I started studying a little bit more. So I'm going to demonstrate a few different versions now of how you can use scrolls of quilling paper in your work. So first thing I'm going to do is basic scroll technique, and that's pretty much just rolling your quilling paper, just like making coils or anything else you would do with your quilling paper. You just put one end on your quilling tool, roll, 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 and instead of rolling all the way to the end of your paper, generally with scrolls you leave sort of a tail, and you can incorporate that tail into your design some way. So this is what's going to be called a loose scroll. So again, we didn't glue our tail down, we didn't even incorporate that into our roll, we just left that straight, and that would be your loose scroll. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a heart, and in order to do that we're going to need to fold our strip of quilling paper down the center, and we're going to make two curls here. We're going to one side, these are both going to be facing into each other. When it's done, you'll understand why it's a heart shape, why we folded it in the middle. So we rolled one end into it, we rolled the other end into the shape, and they should be somewhat even when you're done, and that's going to be your heart shape. So this is why we folded it in the center to begin with. We did our two rolls, they're pretty even. If you wanted to, when you're using this in your design, you can go ahead and dot a little glue between them, and that'll keep them together, and your heart shape won't get all wacky. So really similar to the heart shape is going to be the V scroll, and so we're going to fold our quilling strip down the center again, and this time instead of rolling into the shape we're going to roll out the opposite way of each other. So we're going to scroll one end down as far as you choose to go, and then we're going to scroll the other end as far as you choose to go. Again, traditionally the V shape is sort of even. You could leave it open like this, you can put a little dot of glue in there and keep it together on your design, whatever works for you. There's also versions of both of those where they are asymmetrical. You didn't roll the same distance down. So let's say if it was the V scroll, and it was asymmetrical, let's make this one, let's go really far down on one side, and then the other side, let's say we decide not to go as far down with our roll. And so it would be something like this, where one end is long, whoops, one side is long and the other side is a little bit shorter. You can glue that together, something like that maybe. You could also make an asymmetrical version of the heart. So as we fold this together, and again with the heart, we go in with both of our coils facing each other. So let's make one really far down, and on the other side, let's not roll as far. And again, whenever I push up here as I'm coiling, it's just to kind of keep my roll together. Sometimes I go a little quicker and my roll gets a little cuckoo, so that's why I just push it up there to keep it all together. So here is our heart that's going to be asymmetrical. You can see there, one side short and one side long. And again, you can play around with these dimensions. You want to make this one a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, really long on one side, whatever you'd like. It's all basically the same technique. So another one we can do is going to be the S scroll. And with the S, we don't need to fold anything. We're just going to coil both ends but away from the opposite side. So we'll coil one end down as far as we want to go, and then we're going to flip the paper. When we roll the other end, we're going to do it away from the other side. So you can see there, it sort of looks like an S shape. One coil and then the other coil. And then another one we could do is going to be the C shape, where we're not going to flip the paper over. We're just going to coil both ends towards each other. We're just not going to fold the paper. So we'll roll one end and then flip it over. You can see here's our first coil, as opposed to the S shape where it was on the other side. The C is going to be on the same side of the paper, and we're going to roll the other end towards that first one as far as we want to go. And we can, if you want to, you can sort of make this even more C-shaped by playing around with the part you didn't get to roll, but basically that's going to be your C coil, your C scroll, excuse me. And these ones, they also have asymmetrical variations as well. So let's say with the S, we made one really rolled on one side, and then again we flip it around the opposite side. We just do a little tiny roll on this side. That's going to be your asymmetrical S shape. And you can do the same thing with the C. So we'll do one side and roll all the way down. And let's say on this part of the scroll, we'll just do a little bit, just like that S. So there's your asymmetrical C shape. So again, you can play around a lot with the scrolls, just like the rest of your quilling technique. Again, it's really easy to practice. See if you can even come up with some your own different shapes you haven't seen here. Again, I hope this was really helpful to some people out there. Enjoy your quilling and have fun.